and say, okay, I've been through so many cycles of collective bargaining, and often things tend to get done at the 11th hour.
Listen, he messed this all the way up, and we are almost at the 11th hour, and I'm gonna set a drop dead date soon for y'all to either have this done or we move on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the games are over. The Instagram poetry, over. The Valentine's memes, done. The passive-aggressive subtweets, finished. Because Adam Silver just walked into the room. And when the commissioner of the NBA, the man who signs the checks that keep the WNBA operating, speaks, everyone listens. At NBA All-Star Weekend, Silver finally broke his silence.
Role would be most productive.
See, they asked him, Breanna Stewart, and said, we love to sit down with Adam. We love for him to be at the table. He said, man, I ain't sitting down at the table with y'all.
And what he delivered wasn't a casual update. It was a warning. For months, the WNBA players and owners have been locked in a public tug-of-war. Negotiations dragging, messaging getting messy, emotions running high. But Silver made something very clear. The clock is ticking. He used a phrase that should make anyone in business nervous, drop dead date. He said he's not ready to set one, yet. But then he laid out the timeline.
There's momentum in terms of the amazing amount of progress we've seen in the women's basketball.
The amazing amount of progress that Caitlin Clark has brought to this league. That's what you're blowing. Adam Silver sees it, man. He see what...
Training camps open in about 2 months. The league needs to hold a draft. An expansion draft for Golden State. Free agency must begin, and none of it, can happen without a collective bargaining agreement. You can't draft players into a league without a labor deal. You can't set contracts without a salary cap. You can't launch a season without structure. Silver wasn't speculating. He was outlining consequences. If there's no deal by mid-April.
I've been through so many cycles of collective bargaining, and often things tend to get done at the 11th hour. We're getting awfully close to the 11th hour now when it comes to bargaining to set a drop dead date. But I will say, as I look at the calendar and the amount that we need to get done, really over the next 2 months.
Quoted as saying, I'm not ready to set a drop dead date. What I love to accomplish is putting pressure on everybody. That's NBA Commissioner Adam Silver on W.
The season is delayed. If the season is delayed, TV partners get nervous. If TV partners get nervous, money starts disappearing. And Adam Silver understands money. He's lived through NBA lockouts. He knows how fast momentum can collapse. He knows how fragile growth can be. And right now, the WNBA has something it has never had before. Explosive national momentum. Viewership spikes. Corporate sponsors lining up. Mainstream attention. Primetime coverage, and much of that momentum centers around one undeniable fact. Caitlin Clark's arrival has expanded the audience in ways the league hasn't seen before. Silver sees the numbers.
To the WNBA about the latest CBA negotiations. This is a three-parter, folks. A three-parter. Roses are red, violets are blue. We'd love a proposal that values players too.
He sees the opportunity, and he knows one thing. A labor shutdown right now would crush that momentum. Casual fans will not wait around for a labor dispute. They will move on. Sports calendars don't pause for negotiation. That's why this intervention matters. There's another layer here. The union publicly wanted Adam Silver at the negotiating table. They've called for his presence. But Silver made it clear, he has not been sitting at that table. That's a calculated move. In executive language, that says, handle this through the proper channels. It signals that the WNBA's leadership structure must resolve this internally, with the NBA overseeing from behind the scenes. It's not chaos, it's hierarchy. And Silver stepping in publicly now. That's leverage. He's reminding everyone that deadlines are real. That business realities exist. That calendar pressure is not a bluff. This isn't about poetry or politics. It's about timing. Because April is close, training camp is closer. And television contracts don't wait. The union now has a decision. Close a deal and preserve the league's fastest growing era. Or push negotiations past the point where damage becomes unavoidable. Silver's message wasn't emotional. It was strategic. There is progress. There is urgency. And there are consequences. This is the 11th hour. The momentum is real. The spotlight is brighter than ever. And the calendar does not care about feelings. The warning has been delivered. Now we wait to see who blinks first. Because in professional sports, opportunity doesn't knock twice. And right now, time is louder than anyone expected. And now, everything comes down to what happens next. The pressure is real. The deadlines are real. And the stakes? Higher than they've ever been in the history of this league. This isn't just about percentages on a spreadsheet. It's not just about leverage at the bargaining table. It's about timing, momentum, legacy. The WNBA is standing at a crossroads. On one side, there's growth, unprecedented attention, rising ratings, national conversations, corporate investment, and a wave of new fans who are watching more closely than ever before. On the other side, there's uncertainty, delayed seasons, strained partnerships, and the risk of losing hard-earned momentum in a matter of weeks. Adam Silver's message wasn't dramatic. It wasn't theatrical. It was calculated. The clock is ticking. And when calendars start dictating outcomes instead of negotiators, things move fast. The next few weeks could define the next decade of women's basketball. Will leadership on both sides find common ground? Will urgency override ego? Will the opportunity be protected or fumbled? We're about to find out. Because this isn't just a labor negotiation anymore. It's a defining moment. And when history looks back at this chapter, it won't remember the tweets or the headlines. It will remember who stepped up and who didn't. Stay tuned. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. This isn't just about this season. This is about control. Control over the future of the league. Control over the money. Control over the narrative. Because once a league reaches this level of attention, it doesn't get to hide anymore. Every decision becomes amplified. Every delay becomes a headline. Every misstep becomes permanent. The spotlight is on. And it's not dimming. Adam Silver didn't raise his voice. He didn't threaten. He didn't slam doors. He did something more powerful. He reminded everyone that business doesn't wait. Sponsors don't wait. Networks don't wait. Fans definitely don't wait. Momentum is fragile. It takes years to build and seconds to lose. Right now, the league has wind in its sails. The audience is watching. The opportunity is massive. But opportunity has an expiration date. And if that window closes, it won't reopen this easily. So the next move matters. The next statement matters. The next signature on that contract might be the most important in league history. Because this isn't just about avoiding a shutdown. It's about proving that this league is ready for the big stage, permanently. The clock is ticking. And history is watching.